All right. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to today's Lunch and Learn and bring you topics to elevate that be at your best and radically expand your life and business. And today is a really, really special day because we are talking about confidence. Not just any confidence, but like real confidence, the kind that expands your presence, it elevates your energy, and radiates every single part of your life. And I am joined by someone super special who understands confidence on a very and many different for Carla Morgado. And she has a incredible the powerful woman that you really are, even when you haven't fully seen her. Let us know where you guys are joining in from. If it's your first time, mention first time in the chat. And if you're catching the replay, type in replay in the chat so my team and I can welcome you and Carla and I can stay connected to you. I'm going to just do a little mini bio but she can tell you more about herself as time goes on. But Carla, who specializes in authentic, empowering portraits, the kind that make you pause and say, ooh, that's me. She understands how transformative it is to see yourself through a new and elevated lens, a more confident, capable version of who you're becoming. So thank you for being here. So excited to have you here. You are beyond phenomenal.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here as well. So I appreciate having the opportunity to share a little bit about how, confidence is kind of like a superpower, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, it really is. And I think confidence it's so universal. It's something that high achievers crave constantly. And I hear this every week. How successful women are, they always want more confidence or a difference. And I think when you can start finding little ways that you can unlock that confidence and elevate that confidence and build it becomes so powerful. And I think I've seen you work your magic in front of the camera and it just with people in general and unleash that confidence. And so I'd love for you to zoom back at your beginning. What confidence look like for you before you picked up a camera?
Oh, that's a great question. So actually, I had zero confidence. So something that I've discovered is confidence is really a skill that you learn. So back when I was a young child, I was so shy and introverted and lacking in confidence that I never even raised my hand in class because I wanted nobody to look at me or notice me. And the entire purpose of, well, I got into photography because it was a hobby that I enjoyed, but also it was almost like it gave me an alter ego. So when I have my camera, there's a different version of me that's much more confident. I now have a reason to speak to people. So becoming a photographer was really the first step in learning confidence. And then that's something that grew over time. The more I put myself in situations where I was feeling terrified and not at all confident. So I think repetition and really just going for things allows you to realize that it's not as scary as you thought, and you start building up that confidence.
Yeah. And how has your confidence evolved as your business has evolved?
Yeah, I think the more success you have in your business, the more your confidence grows, and really empowering other people to see their confidence and to see that transformation within them. I think it kind of, you just start to feed off of each other. I can share a little story about a woman that I photographed. Her story always sticks with me because she was in her mid 70s. She spent her entire life hating the way that she looked, not just in photographs, but also in person, the reflection that she saw in the mirror. And a lot of that had to do with the way that she was treated by one of her siblings. And so he would always, put her down through the words that he used and the names he would call her. And she came in because she wanted to see a different version of herself. And so, like many people, I give them tips on their angles and lighting. And then when I showed her the back of the camera, she said, Carla, never in my wildest dreams did I think I could look that beautiful. And so for me, that was a very powerful moment because, we have this perception of ourselves, which is sometimes not real, and that affects our confidence. So when we can do things that on the outside help us feel confident inside, I think that can be very powerful. So whether that is, you know, doing your hair or dressing a certain way or standing in a certain body position which allows you to feel more open and more confident, right? I'm sure that all of us, if we sit kind of like hunched and down, we're going to feel a little bit, you just don't feel as good as when you sit upright and your posture is straight. I think you can embody confidence. It's a decision that you make.
That's so powerful. Like you really can embody confidence. I love how you like confidence is a decision that you make. It's not how you're feeling. It's not how you think you are gonna. It confidence is a decision. I've never heard it framed that way. So I love that. And I remember when I first was younger, I hated all wearing. I was usually wearing like these breakers, and so wherever I tried, I had this windbreaker on, and I'd buy a statue or a church, and I'd have the same like awful look on my face, most awful angles. I'd have my hands on my hips like costume, but I wasn't in a dance costume. So I mean, there's posture in a dance costume, and there was stuff I shouldn't have been doing. Like I was doing, I was just like, what? It was like one nightmare after another, and I always hated how I looked in photos. But then I'd look at magazines, I'm like, wow, like these women can do that. And I remember the first time I did a boudoir shoot, and I saw the photos. I was like, wow, I want to look at myself. And so am I like turned on by myself? I had all these like this is attractive, this is good, this is cool. And one of my photos ended and I'm like, wow, that was intimidating. It also showed me that I'm like, okay, maybe there's something more to this. I didn't think I had it in me, but they saw something in me. And when there's the right lighting, clothing, the right someone that actually find the best and elicit the best from you, what that did to my confidence, not from an better than like not from an egotistical perspective, but from like a really actually see some beauty that I never saw before. It was just so huge because I didn't even know that was possible. I'm like, oh, it's like in Cosmopolitan magazine, or that was the big thing back in high school.
Yeah.
But
what I was going to say
go
was
ahead.
So interesting that we think it's okay to put ourselves down and to feel bad about how we look.
Yeah.
Like that's normal. That's okay to say. But what you just said, you said something like not to be egotistical. But why even do we need to say that? Why is it not okay for you to love what you look like and be proud of who you are? Like it's just I think it's so interesting that as a society we think it's not okay to love ourselves or love the outward appearance that we have.
Thank you for catching that because I didn't even realize that. But I mean, we have beauty. I've worked on both sides of the camera, and one of my favorite things is finding like everyone's got good angles, everyone's got beauty, but when you find that and pull it out of people, there's like nothing more satisfying than someone that just despises getting photos taken, and you're like, oh, they look good, and they don't hate their photo, and they even like it a little bit. So it's just such a gift that you can give people and get as well. It's so beautiful.
Yeah. And it empowers you in other things, right? So going to photography, in that moment you love the way that you feel, and you also love the outcome, which is this beautiful photograph that you're going to have forever. But then there's a little part that always stays inside you and I think affects everything you do. So the next meeting that you go to, or event that you show up at, or speaking up for yourself, like just anything you can do that builds your confidence piece by piece is, I think, something that you should go for in life, because people who are confident, I think that they are more respected, they're given more opportunities, and they live a more full, abundant, and alive life, really.
Yeah. And that's so huge. One of the things I know our conversation said, confidence speaks before you do.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you see happen through your lens? Because you, this day, I for fun. This is profession. You have this beautiful way to extract this from people, and I've seen you in action. We've worked together. What's your process? What's your creative process?
I think the first step is
Confidence
an
speaks
allowing.
before you do.
Yeah, confidence speaks before you do. I think it's in allowing people to feel comfortable. That's the first step. And then I think, you know, I don't know if the confidence speaks before you do so much necessarily in the photograph. I think we can pose people so that they feel confident, but I think it's more when you show up in an environment. So if you're walking into a board meeting, let's say, or anywhere where you're just walking into a space where you don't know people, I think that can be very intimidating for everybody. And so if you walk in and you're avoiding eye contact with others because you're not feeling confident, then you're probably not going to enjoy that experience as much as you would if you made the decision before you walked in that I am going to embody the confident version of myself, and you make eye contact with others, you are noticed, and you start interesting conversations, all because of a decision that you made to enter the space embodied in that confident version of yourself. So going to photographs, maybe you do a photo shoot and it helps you build that little confidence piece in becoming that confident woman. But I think becoming that confident woman or man or person is really just making that decision. I am first, and then becoming I am allows you to take the actions, which leads you to being.
There, when earlier this year we did a shoot, and as part of that shoot I wanted some photos like my husband and with my son, so we could have like the family aspect of our brand. And so I remember I was getting my hair and makeup done, and I was still upstairs, and we were a little late because that's how things sometimes go. And I remember a moment where you, like the exact moment, you pulled my son downstairs and you started working with him because he was the first, and I remember talking to him and just seeing the interaction. And when I went down and I'm like, oh my gosh, she's working with him by himself. Is he okay? I saw the photos you got. You guys were like peas in a pod. It was just so empowering. And I think he was 7 at the time. And I just the confidence you gave him after the shoot, he, like, whenever there's cameras, he's like, oh, I'm gonna go do a photo shoot again, or like he's them, and this different attitude where he knows that there are certain expectations, but because he got a great result, the photos were great, the experience was great.
Yeah.
He's got so much more confidence just in that arena. I think he's always grown up with the cell phone camera, not necessarily in that kind of environment. And I thought that you could give him, because he did sense, because of how you did a few random photos, but you involved him in the experience, and I thought that was so special. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. I love hearing that it made him more confident. Well, I just treat children like small adults, really, because they are, right? I think sometimes we can underestimate children, but if we expect that they want to be there and participate and be present with them, and then we get the most that we can out of them. So I love photographing kids. It's really when I started my career as a photographer, I started photographing young children. So
and so confidence, like a part of confidence is about the experience. Like you said, it's about the doing. You've got to run the drills, you've got to show up, and that will bring the confidence out. So what makes the experience so transformative?
I think it's in, okay, so let's say you're taking a photograph of yourself with your phone, or some friends are taking it and it's terrible lighting, it's the bad angle, and you're just like, oh my God, delete that now. Like, this is just makes you feel so awful about yourself. Now, the experience that someone has when they come to see a professional photographer like myself, where I'm posing you, and I'm never just taking someone's photo. I really try to explain to people that we are creating this together. So there is an energy exchange that happens. So when I see someone's beauty through my camera, I get really excited and they feel that energy. And that is what really allows them
Mm-hmm.
to start to relax. So, what I found over the years is with my clients who are very resistant to having their photo taken, but they need to have a photo taken for, let's say, a business purpose. Um, those clients in the past have taken me a little longer. The warm up can be a bit longer because there's a big mistrust of what their reflection is going to look like at the end. So I remember one woman in particular, and she was just so resistant the entire time. But then at the last moment, I got the perfect shot, and I knew it was the perfect one, and that's all we needed was the one. So then we stopped. And I mean, she's been using that image now probably for a little too long because we all age, even though we don't want to. But she's always telling me how many compliments she gets and that she loves it so much. And she had gained a lot of weight, as sometimes happens for women as we age. And so she was not feeling like the best version of herself. So there was just so much resistance. But as I started to get her to relax, as she started to feel my energy and my excitement, then she started to feel more confident. And that's really what it is. Sometimes when somebody is coming in front of the camera, they'll do their fake smile, right? Like my camera smile. And I hate capturing that because there's micro muscles in our face that we don't always know why when we look at one photo smiling versus another. One feels more authentic. And I think it's because you've caught that person just as they're smiling. So that's really what I try to do,
Mm.
is capture the emotions as they happen instead of holding something that's stiff and not real, right? So we all want to show up as the real version of ourselves, and we want to capture that real emotion. So whether that is um, more relaxed, authoritative or confident, or sensual if it's boudoir, or if it's, happy and approachable and friendly.
Love that. I've never heard of it, but it makes total capturing that emotion just as you reach the peak, just as you get. I'm gonna definitely
Exactly.
think about that next time.
Yeah.
Next time. And so, uh, this doesn't have to do with confidence, but I definitely, um, but I know like it's so easy to just say, "Oh, I've got my cell phone. Oh, an uncle that's got a camera." Like everyone can have a big camera these days, cell phone pixels these days, but
Yeah.
I firmly believe, like I use my little camera all the time, but like I still get professional shots done photographers because like I totally see the value in it. But why should someone work with a professional photographer versus just Uncle Joe and their iPhone? Like tell me like some of the nitty-gritty behind that.
Yeah, I think it really does come down to that experience. So Uncle Joe's taking your
Mhm.
photo with his excellent iPhone or Google phone. They really do have amazing cameras now. But your experience, I guarantee you, will probably be one that's very frustrating, right? So he doesn't know what angles, he doesn't know the lighting to put you in. The process can take a lot longer than it needs to take. Whereas if you're working with a professional, you usually have the opposite experience, right? It's very positive, you feel great, you love the results. And that is really why you hire a photographer, is for not just the final result, but for that experience. And now we're going beyond just Uncle Joe with his camera phone. We're going down the path of AI. So if you just need to have a photo, you probably can take a photo with your phone and have AI make it be whatever you want it to be. So your reason for hiring a professional is two parts. Again, that experience and what that experience allows you to not just feel in the moment, but how it changes how you show up every day. And also, I think we can all spot when something is AI and there's something really
Oh my God.
inauthentic and fake that comes across with that. And I think in a world where we all feel a little disconnected and everything feels fake, showing up real, I think can make a big difference for people. And I'm a photographer and I booked my own photo shoot with someone who doesn't know me because I wanted to have that experience of how someone else would see me and to feel what my clients feel. So, I could take my own portraits and I sometimes do take self portraits. I set up my professional camera on a tripod. I know how to do the lighting, but it's still not giving me that feeling that I was looking for. And I was only able to achieve that by hiring another professional that had never met me before.
Yeah. And it's so interesting working with different people. I used to work with just one set of photographers because I knew them, I trusted them. And then I moved, so circumstances changed. And so since moving to Toronto, I've had the privilege of working with so many different types of photographers. And at first, like you mentioned the word trust at one point, I didn't trust people. It was very
Yeah.
most of them were really great. Just like, I don't know about this. So it was
We all have
difficult
our personality.
yeah, yes. So, and there's certain styles and philosophies that I agree with and others that I don't. But it also showed me that you learn so much from different people and you really do start to um, capture new essences. You learn about yourself, you learn about the process, you learn about energy. And I have so much more confidence in talking to someone, booking someone. I
Yeah.
can look at a profile and be like, okay, this isn't versus this is just a good deal, good opportunity, something someone's saying it's not. Never do that. Like you've got to align with it. So
Exactly.
when it comes to confidence, what do you wish everyone understood about?
I think that you can't say I am confident or I'm not confident. It's a choice that I don't want to be confident, or I do want to be confident. And I say this as somebody who I still walk into spaces where I'm not feeling my most confident self. But I try to, when I'm in that moment beforehand and about to go into that experience, give myself a little mental pep talk, um, to embody that more confident version. And I'll go back to when I first started my first business. I had just given birth to my daughter. She was 2 months old. And so I was really deep into the stage of being sleep deprived and, just that new mom, anything but business professional. And I had never had a business before. I'd been an employee. And so I knew this was my time to finally make my dream come true of being a business owner. And that meant marketing myself and going to networking meetings, which terrified me. And I remember standing up to do my little sales pitch for my new business, which at the time had 0 clients. And my hands would be shaking. And the entire time while everyone else was speaking, instead of listening to what they had to share, I was rehearsing my little 30-second pitch in my head and would say it almost like on autopilot, like when you drive somewhere and you don't even know how you got there. And because I was the absolute opposite of being confident. And now when I go to networking meetings like that and I speak, I do feel confident. And I think that comes across in how people perceive how good I am as a photographer, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
no matter what profession you have, I think that when you show up as confident, then people will assume that you are the best at what you do. And who wouldn't want that to be the case? You would want to be seen as the best at what you do.
Mm-hmm. And I also think like when you have enough experience, you know who your people, who they aren't. And I mean, you could work
Mm-hmm.
with anyone, but there's some people that you're just like, this is not for me. Like you don't need to
Yeah.
try to please everyone. If they're not your person, there's a lot of other people out there that can serve them. And I definitely think
Exactly.
that's the confidence to say no, the confidence to not reject business, but just to let people go elsewhere and not choose you. I think that's a really big opportunity for vulnerability, because so often we want to please people, we want people to see us, we want people to like us, like this is an
Yes.
expectation. And once we achieve a certain level of confidence in our business, in ourselves, in our lives, it's I
Mm-hmm.
think that's like another really good benchmark to say, okay, this is your choice and your perspective, this is your opinion, and this is mine. And when we can honor our own, um, stay in our own lane, that's truly powerful. It's
Yeah.
not always easy to say no. So
No, it's not. And I remember the first time I said no to someone and said, I don't think I'm the right photographer for you. It was a big moment
yeah.
because I wasn't sure that I'd ever say that, right? So, yeah, I think it's very powerful to be able to recognize that you're not for everybody, and that's okay.
Hmm. Well, thank you so much. I love this. I've loved this discussion. So let's say if someone wants to work with you because you do photos, what kinds of photos do you do? Who is for you? Who is not for you? Let us know what your deal is. Do your new pitch. Do your new pitch.
Oh my gosh, I haven't
That
rehearsed one in a long time. I would say I really I photograph. My favorite thing to photograph is women, and to do what's called, I guess, modern glam. So photographing a woman who has maybe lost herself over the years, isn't feeling like the most confident version of herself, and really wants to um, change the way that she's perceiving herself, so she shows up in her life better. But I also work with businesses and do personal branding and headshots. So those would be the three types of portraits that I think that I really excel at. And yeah, like, oh my gosh, I'm using a lot of filler words. My approach is always in one, understanding what it is that my client really needs, and in allowing them to feel comfortable so I can truly capture them.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. And
So
so, who is not your person? Who is not your person?
I think anybody who's just looking for something quick, um, and doesn't really care about the experience. Like if Uncle Joe's going to do a good job, you should probably go with Uncle Joe. If you're booking me, it's really because you want to have a result that you can't achieve with him. And again, that I know I keep saying the same thing, but I think we underestimate how powerful experiences can be. Um, and so I think that anyone who's had a photo session with me has had a really great experience. And I remember one lady saying, she was really anxious before she came in, and then that's a normal feeling for most people who aren't in front of a camera. And that when she left, she was like, "This was better than the spa. Can I come back again tomorrow?" And to me, that was such an awesome compliment. And that for me is very rewarding to hear clients say those kinds of things.
Well, I mean, and I can definitely speak to our experience with you. I mean, I had my husband, my son, and Megan from our team, and we were all there. And you just did such a phenomenal job. The photos were amazing. The experience was amazing. You helped with wardrobe. Another thing, wardrobe. You're like, Yeah, you picked this. This is like you were decisive and helped us make sure the location, the result. Like you just helped make everything easier. And from a corporate shoot perspective, like you helped recommend a few places based on what our intents were. Like you make it so much easier and reduce the stress, because the last thing I want to do is search 100 places for photo shoot locations. And you were like, try this. Like that was such a godsend to me. It was not just the photo shoot experience, it was the pre, it was like so that we can make sure to get a result like that. I think from beginning right until it was like so easy, so natural. We knew what to expect, and it was just such a beautiful opportunity. And our photos are great, and we use them all the time. So,
Oh, wonderful. I'm so
so
happy.
yeah, they're we love them. We love them. We love
I love
them. So
seeing them.
it's been
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, I'm saving our next shoot for when I get my 6-pack abs. So you can check some lighting for
I'm
that.
working on those too.
Not here yet, but they're coming. They're coming. So Megan, she's got a shoot with you on Friday, so she's like super excited.
Yes,
We were just
I'm so
discussing
excited.
wardrobe after. Yeah,
Yeah,
she's really excited. So, but it has been an absolute pleasure. How can people find you? How can people find you? Where do they go?
Yeah, they can find me at Elarica Photography.
Can you spell that? Because it's
And yeah, it's a bit of an unusual name. So it's ELLAHRIKA.
okay. Instagram, on
Instagram, Facebook,
so.
and internet. Yeah, www.elarica.com.
Okay, so ELLAHRIKA photography on Instagram, Facebook, and the internet. So I will make sure my those in the chat below this video if someone wants to look you up or show to you, because you are amazing. Love you. And I think like photography is definitely one of the best boosters I've had in my life, like on so many levels. And it just started with one good photo that led me down the rabbit hole, and you just start getting addicted because you like yourself in a whole new way, and you start finding and discovering new things about yourself that you didn't even know were there before. So thank you for letting our lights shine, because it's a beautiful gift that you give people.
Thank you, Larissa. It's one that I love. I love sharing with people. And thank you for the opportunity to share about confidence today.
You're welcome. All right, guys, we are taking off. If you are interested in another very satellite aspect to confidence, in our community at the Abundance Academy, in a couple of weeks, we are the Vision Expansion Experience. This is an opportunity for you to get yourself ready for the new year, so you can start building the clarity and then the confidence, then the conviction in order to really live the life you desire. We are going to look at your life's vision so you can elevate it or create it if you've never done this before. But you can't set really good goals if you don't even know what your big picture is. And it's so important you visiting it and revisiting, making it bigger, brighter, more shiny. So if you are interested in joining us, type in vision in the chat and my team will make sure to get a registration link for you. It is hot off the press. We've got new things happening this time around. We will be sharing next couple of weeks, so stay tuned. Check them out on our socials, and we will be back again next week. So thanks so much, Carla, for joining us.
Thank you. Bye.